Hello. There is another birthday today. Today is my mother's birthday. I don't know how old she is, because it's kind of irrelevant because, let's say, her human body has died. She is no longer here. And I don't know if I sound callous saying it that way, but part of the reason why I'm able to say it that way is because of the way that I now view the whole situation. It's a very complicated issue, and it sounds a little harsh for a lot of people, but I think that this is kind of the key of how to look at your life and how to move forward without trying to control the past and change it. I'm going to the beach right now. I'm going to put my feet in the sand and I'm going to jump in the water, and I'm going to talk about my mom and my perspective on life. I gotta tell you, one of the great joys of having a big old van like this is that I never really have to be ready for anything. I just have to have the appropriate supplies, like my shorts. I just change here. And just like that, we're ready. The beach. This is my coyote tattoo. It symbolizes adaptability. Coyotes are very adaptable animals. Initially they were afraid of humans, but they ended up adapting to cities and now live in almost all of the cities in the United States, at least. In Chicago in particular, the city-dwelling coyotes actually grow to be larger than the wild or rural coyotes, which is a true testament to their adaptability. And I think that's what we're supposed to do with all the difficulties we're presented with. Not only are we capable of overcoming and growing and being stronger because of it, but I think that's the whole point. I think we're presented with these things as a test or some kind of way to prove to ourselves that we're strong enough to withstand all of the difficulties of life. Even though at the time they seem completely devastating and like we can never move on, they actually make us bigger and stronger. I think this is the case. If it's not the case, I think this perspective at least helps us get through things, helps us realize that we're capable of more than we initially thought. It's really hot, and I don't think I'm capable of withstanding this heat without getting in that water, so I'm gonna go jump in the water. I guess with this talk of coyotes, it's kind of hard to relate. We're not coyotes, we're humans. But I think it's the same thing, and I think we know it. We have all these sayings: what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, pain is weakness leaving the body, so on and so forth. And those are all the tough guy ways of saying it, but I think it's just it's proof that we know deep down inside that all these difficulties are really just exercises to make us stronger. I think that the difficulty and the hardship that we face in life becomes much more tolerable if we just are able to look at pain as a teacher rather than as a burden or a leech sucking energy out of us or holding us back. There's no real definitive point to all of this, except for maybe it's worth a try. Maybe it's worth a try to look at pain as a teacher rather than something that's harming us and holding us back. And let me tell you, pain is something that I happen to know a whole lot about. And contrary to popular belief, it doesn't always have to be bad. It really doesn't. it's kind of up to us. I'm gonna get off the beach, but I'll elaborate in a minute. I'm back in the van. I didn't get all that red. So what do I know about pain? I'm not saying that I know more about pain than anyone or everyone, but I've been in pain for the last 2.5 years, every day. And at one point, I heard someone say that pain is not inherently negative, it is only our perspective of it that makes it so. And I think that's true. As I was doing all these exercises to try to regain my strength and the flexibility of my knee back, it was so painful. But once I started releasing the negativity attached to it and just thought of it as a sensation, it just passed through me like anything else. And there's something special about it, because the amount that you're willing to endure is an example of how much it means to you. So if I'm willing to endure pain every single night, pain that made me throw up sometimes, that means that I really value my physical body. I really want to get it back. I don't know much about pregnancy or giving birth, but I think it's similar to that. Like, the pain of giving birth seems to be one of the most excruciating experiences there is, but it's also one of the most important things that someone could do in life, is to give birth to a human baby. It's like the universe letting you know how important and spectacular it is to give birth. Again, it doesn't have to be negative, and in hindsight, all of my pain was actually positive. The more pain I was in, the more that I grew as a person. When I look back on all the pain that I had from my motorcycle accident, that was the most transformative time of my life. It's like I completely transformed into a different person. I barely remember, and I definitely wouldn't recognize the person that I was before. I gotta go wash my van. It's dirty. It's dirty on the inside and it's dirty on the outside. So I'm gonna go spray it down. I'll get back to my mom. I'll get back to talking about my mom and why I started filming today anyways. What is the point of talking about any of this? Well, it's a tool. The perspective is a tool. If you're not happy where you are, you use it as a tool to move forward. So you look at all the difficulties that you face and you think, okay, I will make it through this. Afterwards, I will be stronger and more prepared to take on life. If you are happy where you're at, then you look at your past and you connect the dots. And something that you might have thought was catastrophic, like a family member died, maybe your mother died, maybe you were in an accident, potentially a motorcycle accident, and at the time those things seemed terrible. Well, if you're happy with where you are, those things were necessary steps to get you here, because after all, everything that we're faced with is just an exercise to prepare us for our future. The reason this is relevant in the case of my mother's birthday is because for a lot of my life, I looked back and I thought about changing that. And I thought, well, what would my life be like if my mother didn't die? And then more recently, what would my life be like if I didn't get in a motorcycle accident? I wouldn't have lost these 2 years. And that's really easy to do, and that's torture, as far as I can tell. But I'm happy with where I'm at. And so now, if I were to ask myself the question, if I could go back in time and bring my mother back, or not have her die, would I? And as strange as this sounds to a lot of people, no, I would not. It's yielded a lot of positive experience. I've been able to see the full spectrum of life. From an early age, I saw the darkest darkness a kid could see. Maybe not the darkest darkness, but it was pretty dark. And that prepared me moving forward. And after that, I mean, nothing really could faze me. So would I change anything from my past? And the answer is no. I'm where I am. I'm happy with where I am. I wouldn't want to subscribe to an uncertainty. Maybe if she didn't die, I would have ended up dying in my motorcycle accident. Who knows? But I'm going to stick with the certainty. Everything that happened in my past was an exercise from the universe to prepare me for the future. And be the coyote in the city of Chicago that got a lot bigger than his rural brothers and sisters. Now I gotta wash my car. Hopefully this made sense and improved your life a little bit, because that's all I'm really after, just to try to make all of my experiences worth something in the world. So if it gets to one person, I'm perfectly happy. If you like it, then like it and subscribe and turn on the notifications and comment and do all those things that everyone tells you to do, because they really help. They really do. That they help a lot, not only with YouTube's whole situation, but also with my self-esteem. And I would appreciate it, and follow along, because I'm gonna keep on doing these things. Thanks.